Recording in progress.
All right, everybody. You hear the music. You know what happens when you hear that little beat. You hear that uptick. High off the glass is in the building. We are starting our episode today. This is the NBA trade deadline. This is deadline day. Trade deadline day, y'all. It has been amazing. We have had a ton of stuff happening. Oh my goodness.
So much.
Ton of trades. And we are about to kick this episode. I am joined today, y'all, by none other than Mr. Joshua Boekesch. This man is in and out. Oh my God, he is an aficionado when it comes to all sports, baseball and basketball, hockey. Those are, I mean, I guess all sports, but I guess what's your favorite sport, Josh? Is it baseball or basketball?
My favorite sport overall, I'd say, is baseball because I grew up playing it and watched it the longest. But my favorite to watch is basketball.
Your favorite to watch is basketball.
Basketball
Okay.
games are very fun to watch. I just love the game.
Right. So overall, your favorite sport is basketball?
To watch, it's basketball. Just in general, it's baseball.
Okay. But you don't play baseball, you play basketball.
I play basketball still. It has been a while since I played baseball. I do hop in the occasional softball league, but it's been a while since I got in the action. I think 2022 might be a comeback year.
2020 for oh wow, Washington beats Brooklyn, made all these damn trades, but I guess what is it, the guys haven't started yet. But the funny part to me is Brooklyn couldn't beat a Washington team that doesn't have Dinwiddie, doesn't have Beal, who else?
Doesn't have Trez,
doesn't have Montrez. I mean, good goodness, the only person that was out there for real looks like what is it, Kuzma and is that Ish Smith or Pope? I couldn't tell who that is. Who is that?
Muggsy Bogues available?
Oh yeah, KCP. Yeah, they had KCP and Kuz, and that's it. I don't understand how Brooklyn with Mr. Kyrie Irving, Mr. Don't depend on his ass. They couldn't get. That's classic him.
Real quickly, as the Nets lost their 10th game in a row, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
What's starting to happen, it's happening in LA, and this was a move I was waiting for to really happen for a while, but like most teams have lucked out and it's worked out in terms of teams that have 2 or 3. In the Nets and the Lakers case, it's a legit big 3 where guys are getting paid crazy amounts of money. When you're paying 3 guys most of your money, you don't have a lot of money for the other guys on the team.
No shit.
So now with KD being out and the Lakers, LeBron's in and out of the lineup, AD was out for a while, Russ having a garbage year by his standards.
LeBron's played a good season though. He's played a good amount.
Right, but like lately he's been in and out of the lineup. He's had just a couple rest days and stuff like that.
Yeah, he always has that.
What happens is once you lose one of those big 3, then they only have to focus on 2 guys. And then the rest of your team is garbage.
Right.
And this is what happens. This is why I'm against stacking these teams, because this is what happens is where, yeah, it's cool to watch them, but if they get hurt or something, your team is automatically awful because your bench and the rest of the dudes out there are mostly subpar dudes. Maybe there's a few average dudes, but these teams are garbage and it's starting to show up.
Right. But see, to me, this is what happens when, you go for names instead of substance.
Right.
You know what I mean? the Fakers didn't do nothing at the trade deadline, which is surprising to me. As trash as their team is, they did absolutely nothing. But you could have. I mean, let's just skip back to the offseason real quick with the Fakers. They could have had Buddy Hield, someone who's explosive and can shoot, but they chose Russ, who I don't understand it, man. Look. We're going to jump right into these trades. I know y'all want to know about all these trades that's going on because I'm actually excited about them. Big name trades and small trades are significant today. But the thing that I just don't understand, like, help me understand this, dude. Russell Westbrook literally last year just pushed the Wizards, who only had him and Beal, to the damn postseason, to the play-in game, and got a whole bunch of triple doubles late in the season to do it. Okay, why is Allie LaForce doing every game? Where is what's my girl Stephanie Reddy doing TNT games, like the sideline reporter? Like, good, Allie LaForce is getting every game now. But I don't understand how this man, who's a former MVP, who, like I said, he didn't single-handedly will the Wizards to the playoffs, but I mean, he saved Scott Brooks' job last year. He got him there with Beal, who was out a little bit towards the end. You know, this man did a lot for that team, and that was just last year. Why has he forgotten how to play ball?
Because he's in a system where he knows without a shadow of a doubt whose team that is. When he was in Houston, okay, he was with James Harden, so clearly that's James Harden's team, but also, like, at that point, they were kind of like similar level and types of production dudes. That was when Russ was just going like real crazy with the triple doubles and all that stuff.
Right.
Then he goes to Washington, and, like, okay, you could say it's Bradley Beal's team, but does Russell Westbrook think Bradley Beal is better than him? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So Russ had that, that fiery, thing to be like, all right, this is my team now. Like, I'm here. I want to win. Now he's in LA. You got at least one dude over you that has control of the team. Anthony Davis, now you have two.
Right.
He knows he's the third option there. And so he wants to contribute, but he knows his touches are limited. So he's putting up all these horrible shots. I don't know what's going on with his shot. Every time I watch him play, he's airballing threes like crazy.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I think it takes a certain type of dude to play with LeBron in that kind of, like, actually going to try to coexist and go for a championship type situation. I don't think he's there at the moment, and I don't know if he can get there, because I think this is very much like a big brother, little brother situation where little brother's trying to do too much to impress big brother, and LeBron doesn't seem too pleased with him lately. So if the Lakers want any shot at doing anything in the playoffs, Russell Westbrook has to get right, because they look horrible.
They do, but I gotta push back on something you said, and they really LeBron. When you just said LeBron has looked at him not too favorably here recently, that shot the other night, when they played who they play and they beat the shit out of their ass. Who was that they just played the other day and they got beat down by like that?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. And the way Russell called himself trying to lift their spirits and goes over there and talks, and it's like Bron and AD both had their heads down, and so they don't know who it is. So when he puts his hand on their shoulders, trying to like console them, LeBron's looking up like he was expecting someone that would make him feel better. He looked up, saw him, and he put his head back down so fast and made a face like, "Oh, not this motherfucker again!" Right. Like, dude. And I just don't understand it. And AD, like, I don't think AD looked at him one time. Like, AD is just like all the way done with Russ. You know what I'm saying? He is 100% done. But I don't understand what you say when you said he's worried about not getting enough touches. Earlier in the season, he was bringing the ball up. He was touching the ball more than anybody earlier in the season.
What I meant and what I said was, like, he's not getting as many touches where it's like we're giving you the ball to score right now. He's out there to facilitate and make sure either LeBron or AD gets the ball.
Right.
So a lot of times he's putting up these garbage shots because I think he's thinking, like, if I don't score, and if I'm not in that like 25 or 25 to 30 range with these dudes, like they're gonna think like, you know, they're not gonna want me shooting. They don't want me scoring. And he likes to score. He likes to like. I'm not gonna say like Karl Anthony Towns said he likes to pad his stats. I think the dude wants his stats, but he wants to win, and he's just going after stuff. He doesn't have to go for all those rebounds and all that.
Yeah.
So I think he's putting up shots that he normally wouldn't, or he's just trying to make it look like he can make these shots so that he does get more of their attention, so that they want him to have the ball more. I mean, he wasn't even like playing. They were in a close game, a couple games recently. He's not even on the court at the end of the game.
He wasn't when they beat when they came back to beat the Knicks. They had to bench him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're Russell Westbrook. You just won an MVP a couple of years ago. Like, this isn't supposed to be happening.
But see, I disagree. You're right in what you're saying, but I disagree with, okay, I got to put up 25 to 30 or they're not going to want me to shoot or want to play with me. He was out there by himself earlier in the season when AD was out for what, 27, 17 games. Bron was out for like 20, 15 games. So it's just like, you know, he's out there. That was one of the reasons why they got him, was to carry the team when those two would be out. Because, I mean, AD is street clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you. But
that's what I'm saying is when those other dudes are out there, nobody's leaning on him to lead the charge. Nobody's going, Russ, go out there and win us this game. Now, that happened in Oklahoma City after Kevin Durant left. That happened down in Houston sometimes. That happened in Washington sometimes, where it'd be close towards the end of the game and they just went, Russ, you got to go out there and score. And he did it. He's done it before. Right. But now he's got these two other guys, and I think it gets to him mentally that he doesn't want to miss these shots in front of LeBron. Right. He doesn't want to miss these shots and have Anthony Davis have to run down rebounds.
Right. He
wants to be out there producing, and he's not doing as well as he usually has been. And I think it's getting to him. And LeBron doesn't seem to put up with stuff like that.
Right. All right. Well, speaking of Westbrook, we'll jump to one of his former teammates that he played with twice. And somebody like him goes from team to team and just can't get it done. Even though I take Russell over this dude. We'll talk about Mr. James Harden. Finally got what he wanted. Trade was executed today. Harden and Paul Millsap go to Philly for Ben Simmons. Wow. Seth Curry. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry. Who else was in that deal? There's a bunch of people.
Andre Drummond.
I think one other player. And Thibault. Wasn't Thibault in it too?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you had it right. Simmons, Curry, Drummond, 2022 first round pick, unprotected, 2027 first round pick. Wow, that's way up there. Protected. And all Philly gets is Harden and Paul Millsap. You know what? I want to know.
Never mind. Go ahead.
I don't know where to start with. There's so many different places to start. The first thing I just want to know is, when are people going to hold James Harden accountable for not being able to do shit ever? Like, I just don't get it, man. It's just like every year, it's like everybody was so hard on Bron until Bron won one. They hard on everybody. They were hard on Zeke till Zeke was able to beat Larry Legend and Magic. They were hard on the GOAT till the GOAT was able to beat fucking Larry Legend, Magic, and Zeke. And they were hard on fucking Kobe till Kobe won one, and Shaq, and so on and so on and so on. They hard on everybody, but Harden, it's like journalists, basketball reporters realize, like, this dude is not that good. He just scores a lot, so we're not going to be on him. Almost same thing with T-Mac. Like, he gets the T-Mac pass. Like, T-Mac wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying? He could just score a lot, so we don't expect him to win. Like, this dude goes everywhere and still can't get it done. Like, how come he doesn't catch heat? What's that about? I don't never hear you flame him. I'll never hear you flame him.
Let me first say, this was the fleece of the 2022 season.
This trade?
If Ben Simmons turns out to be even halfway okay in Brooklyn, well, look, Brooklyn got Ben Simmons, who hopefully he's chill. Hopefully he enjoys the situation there. I think the thought of playing with Kyrie, and KD vastly improves his outlook, and I think he can get back to some sort of normalcy. They get Seth Curry, who is a fantastic bench player.
Yeah, that's huge right there in and of itself. Yeah.
They got Andre Drummond, who, for the life of me, I don't understand why people hate on this dude.
Because he's not good.
No. Look at his numbers.
You'll never see him in the fourth quarter.
Look at
I'll look him up right now. Look at his
numbers. Look at the numbers he had when he was starting when Joel Embiid was out.
I'm gonna just look at his numbers overall.
Well, he doesn't get that many minutes because Joel Embiid plays 40 minutes a night.
Let's see. Keep talking.
I mean, I'm telling you, when he was filling in for Joel Embiid, he was putting up absurd numbers. I think he had a 20-20 game.
At sample size, though, Josh, that's probably a very skewed sample size. This year for Philly, averaging 18 minutes a game, averaging 18 minutes. He's given us 6 points, 2 boards. Here, what is it? Well, no, I'm sorry. 6 points, 2.6 field goals made, 5 attempted, almost 5 attempted. He only made 2 of them per game. And let's see what we got for boards. He gives you 8. He gives you 8 boards. So
18 minutes?
In 18 minutes, I mean,
that's not bad.
Yeah, that's not even close to a double-double.
How many dudes get double-doubles in 18 minutes?
Yeah, I hear you. 18 minutes isn't a whole lot.
Anyway,
okay, you're right. And let's go to last year with him in Toronto, because he floats around so freaking much. I guess he was with Toronto last year.
I'll take him over most big men I see playing these days.
Okay, yeah, he had a double-double last year. I guess he does average a double-double. Does he?
There you go. What else do you need?
I need a little more heart out of Drummond, to be honest with you. When I see Drummond on the court, Drummond is like, to me, you know what he's like to me, Josh? He's like Ben McLemore. I forget he's out there. I forget he's like a lot of players in the NBA. I forget he's out there. He's big as hell and doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Maybe block some shots. Let me see what he's looking like for blocks. And I'm not even going to look at this year.
Hey, man, look.
Wow. He's averaged like 1 his entire career. Wow.
That's great.
Okay. So that's why people don't get that excited over him, dude. Yeah.
Those are great numbers. Those are good numbers. Most dudes don't average a block a year.
You're a center, though, in the NBA, and a starting center at that before here recently, and you can't give me more than 1 block a game?
Sure. I don't see how many dudes are averaging a block a game. Anyway, all I'm saying is they got Andre Drummond. They got a draft pick next year. The Sixers got James Harden, who will see if that works. But now James Harden is just not doing it for me. I never was like real big on James Harden, because also James Harden's like a good amount of his points are free throws.
Right.
And I really can't imagine watching a Sixers game, watching James Harden and Joel Embiid just constantly trying to draw fouls the entire game. It's going to be miserable.
You think that's all Joel does?
The thing that's incredible to me about this trade is, at the beginning of the year, the Sixers said Ben Simmons wants to be traded. Okay, so teams started inquiring, what would you like for Ben Simmons? And basically every time their answer was like, we want your best players, we want like 3 dudes off your bench, and we want like 5 first-round draft picks.
Right.
Just for Ben Simmons. By the time we get to the trade deadline, they're going, you'll give us James Harden if we give you Ben Simmons and Seth Curry and Andre Drummond and our first-round pick next year?
Right.
Great. Take it. The way that Philly could have cashed in so much bigger on this earlier in the year, had they not just been so stingy, they were trying to make like huge package deals for one dude. They wound up getting rid of 3 guys and a draft pick.
But see, that's the thing, because Daryl Morey being Daryl fucking Morey, because he knows every goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? He's the smartest basketball mind ever, and he's the smartest GM ever. And I didn't know this. I guess they fired Elton Brand like last year or a year before. I didn't know that. Did you know Elton Brand was like the president or something, or he was a president or assistant president of the 76ers?
I vaguely remember hearing something about him not working with them anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that's why Morey, because I guess Morey probably took Elton Brand's spot, which is horrible.
Right.
And he does all that and could have, like you said, gotten way more in the offseason or maybe when the season started. But he was dead set on, I'm only trading him for a superstar. That's why all he got was Harden, because he wanted to trade him for another superstar. If he would have took him and another maybe perennial all-star and or a couple perennial all-stars or really good dudes, you know, saying he'd be better off. But he didn't want that. He had to have another superstar. You know what I'm saying? What are you looking up?
No. Yeah, no, I get it, but like earlier, like I said, earlier in the year, they wanted a superstar and a couple other dudes and draft picks. Now they're like, we'll just take James Harden. Which
that was the best he could get too. That was the best he could get. Yeah.
I think Ben Simmons comes out of this very happy, great opportunity. Because I mean, like KD will be back, and then once you get that team fired up, like.
But here's the thing. Before I jump into overrated, to talk about basket case Ben, I shouldn't say that. To talk about Ben, what when KD says something to him, like tells him to get down on a block on a way he don't like or something, or because KD is somebody who is not cool, is not trying to have fun, doesn't seem like he's somebody cool to kick it with. You know what I'm saying? Good for you. Yeah, I see it. Good for you. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty.
Who did that against?
Oh wow! Who won the game though? Who won the game?
In Detroit.
Detroit won the game.
I don't know.
Yeah, he probably did.
Andre had 26 and 22.
That's shit. That was like what was that? 4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Here's the thing.
So, no, but look. But go back. Listen. All I'm saying is, how's it going to work? Like, how's he going to deal with the media? How's he going to deal with teammates saying stuff to him? How's he going to deal with fans? Because it's Brooklyn, New York. You know what I mean? It's Brooklyn. They don't play that shit. But to be honest with you, they're not going to be as bad as Philly, because I don't think the Brooklyn fans are as vocal. And they're not as out there and as forceful as the Philly fans are. They're not assholes like that. But, you know, how's he going to deal with that if he gets a little bit of that? You know what I'm saying? In these press conferences and these questions. Like, what do you think he's going to do with that?
The Nets are currently 29-26 in the midst of a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah, love it. Love to see it.
This is how the Brooklyn fans will react to Ben Simmons being on the court. Thank you, Lord, for sending this gift to us.
Yeah.
We appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Because until KD comes back, it's just Kyrie. Now it's just Kyrie as long as they're on the road.
Right.
Then they got to go home.
Right.
And until things change with the Kyrie Irving situation, then you don't have anybody to put out.
Right.
So them just having, and I'm sure Ben Simmons probably isn't going to be there for, I don't know how much he's been working out. I don't know how quickly he'll be able to get put into that system and start and play.
Right.
But I mean, you're telling me you're not going to get pumped up about the fact that you don't think that's going to at least put people in the building?
Right.
When people know going down the line, there's no Kyrie at home games.
Right.
So that'll do that. That actually, as long as Kyrie isn't able to play, that's a huge opportunity for them, because that gives Ben Simmons full run of the rest of the team. So then all he's got to do is go on the road, figure out how to play with Kyrie. KD comes back, figure out how to play with him. Besides that, he can go out there, but he'll be able to go out there with everybody else. And he played with two of the guys that they got.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great opportunity for Ben Simmons. I've never been a big Ben Simmons dude, but I'm all for seeing great players play at the top of their potential. So let's see what Ben Simmons can do. Great start, great move for the Nets. Terrible move for Philly, if you ask me, but who knows? We'll see.
I feel you on that. I mean, it does in all, if you look at all the bright sides of it, and if you think that, you know, his mentals are okay, it makes perfect sense for Brooklyn. It does help Brooklyn more than it helps Philly, because that contract that overrated Harden has, the money he's supposed to get next year. Oh my God, look that up. Did you see that shit? We'll talk about that in a second. Like,
they said something, they were talking about his age, 38 season. 38 years old.
Yeah. Bobby Marks said that.
He's gonna make $62 million to be 38 in the NBA.
Yeah, Bobby Marks said that. He said we're going to be talking about the Harden contract like we talk about the John Wall contract and the and the other one. But anyway, look, with Ben, it's just, you know, his mentals, you know, we got to see if those are okay. But then the other thing that I don't think it's going to work with Brooklyn, and it's not really, it's almost not anybody's fault. They can be professionals all they want, and they can be really good all they want, but this team has had no time to figure each other out. No time. Just the team, just like not even counting KD and Kyrie. I'm talking about the bench players. I mean, just the no-name dudes. Like, when have they had time to play with each other? Because they're out going out with COVID. The main thing that has taken a lot of these teams out is COVID, and replacing this person, replacing that person. And then you add trades on top of that, and then the season is moving. You know what I'm saying? And Steve, I'm sorry, nobody wants to say it. Steve Nash may be in over his head, which I thought he was from last season, but you know, nobody wants to say that. I think he's in over his head. And when shit hits the fan, he's not really going to know how to deal with it because he doesn't have any plays he can rely on. They haven't had time to practice them. He doesn't have a philosophy to rely on. They don't have time to know it. You know what I mean? He hasn't had time to implement it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a style of play, Brooklyn. You know what I mean? They literally have no style of play. It's just like, you know, whoever has the ball, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit breaks down all the fucking time with them. Look, man, I don't see it. I know they're not. I already said they weren't coming out the East, but I know they're not coming out the East now. And them taking Ben, it makes more sense it's a better trade for them than it is for Philly, and it even works for both teams because both teams needed to get rid of those dudes. I don't know, man. I've seen him. To me, if he's on the floor and he's playing, that means all that other shit I talked about worked out. What's going to happen when they start a fucking hack-a-bin and they start doing him like they did Twizzle and shit and start hacking him every time and making him go to the free throw line? What's going to happen then? Then he turns into a for real liability. We don't have to worry about him scoring or having a ball, but if they just start hack-a-bin, shit, what you going to do then?
Luckily for him, at some point in time, he will have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant to eliminate that from the equation because he don't need to touch the ball towards the end of the game.
You still can send him to the foul line, bro. They'll foul him. Greg Popovich taught everyone how to do it.
Now if you take him out the game,
huh? I get you. So then, what's the point of bringing some guy in that you can't have it in clutch time? That's my other
Well, I mean, that's why you have KD and Kyrie. Ben Simmons is not there to take over the team. Ben Simmons is not there to be the number one option on the team. Ben Simmons is there to comfortably be the number 3 option on the team.
I get that. But here's the thing. You being the third option.
You take Ben Simmons out. You let anybody else get the ball, let them get fouled. When they go to the line, you sub Ben Simmons right back in, let him play defense.
So you're gonna play. So that's how you'll do it. You'll sub him out every time. It doesn't make any sense. When they foul him, when they grab him and foul him, he's got to go to the foul line.
No, what I'm saying is, in a situation, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, here's the thing. Who knows? Let them shoot free throws. I don't think that team's going to be in a lot of close games when they're all healthy.
I don't know.
Well, hey, tell him to make his free throws. All right. Big news of the day: Ben Simmons got traded to the
Hey,
Nets.
and last thing on this, second team in a row, this man has quit for Houston, quit for Brooklyn. Now he's in Philly. Watch him quit on Philly in a year or two. So it's just like, what are we doing here?
I mean,
y'all so excited to get a quitter.
That's the NBA these days, man. As long as you are a pretty good player, people will take you on their team.
You said what? Yeah, if you're a pretty good player, yeah, they will. But it's just a waste of a time. It's false hope. You're literally giving yourselves as a team, and you're giving your fans false hope, thinking that's going to make it. That's going to work out. Joel is an alpha male, and I don't think James can really deal with that either. I don't think he could deal with that. You know what I'm saying? He may not be as mentally soft as Ben, but who's to say he can deal with somebody, being up under somebody and listening to someone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he could really deal with it.
I mean, I'll be honest, man. I don't really like Philly, so I'm not really too concerned as to what ends up happening with them. What the move they made today does not make them a championship contender.
Right.
We have two guys,
Right.
and the team that you just made the trade with, you just made them better, and they were already better. As bad as they've been lately, they are a better team when they're fully healthy. They are better, much better.
Right. Great point. All right. Next big deal. I think this is huge. Actually, it's not. I wonder who they're going to get to help out now, since KP going from Dallas to Washington in the trade. What is it? Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans go to Dallas, and Washington gets KP and a future first-round draft pick. I mean, it makes sense because it's been reported for years that KP and Luka don't get along. That's Luka Skywalker. So, I mean, that's his damn team.
I mean, Luka seems like a pretty cool dude. How do you not get along with Luka?
I don't know.
All I know is now that
Luka does think cool as shit.
Gone, I'm really gonna need more minutes for my boy. Boban.
Boban is not someone you can just go out there and give you minutes on minutes, dude. That's not.
He can do it. All he needs is 20. He will get you a double. Remember when I said earlier how many people get a double-double in 18 minutes? Boban Marjanovic gets a double-double in 18 minutes. Right. That's all he needs.
Right.
He's 1,000 feet tall. All he does is stand in front of the basket and either dunk it or get a rebound. That's all he does.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a couple. First off, he's on the bench for a reason. Second, I've seen a lot of games where he's out there and it's like he gives you something at first, but then he runs out of steam, or he ends up getting boxed out from like two people, or or I don't know what the fuck happened. He gets in foul trouble. He gets in foul trouble quickly. He makes it's kind of like dumb fouls. You know what I'm saying? Like accidental shits. I don't know. It's just. Am I wrong? That's literally stuff I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he also gets buckets and blocks and rebounds. I for the life of me, I cannot figure out. And maybe Luka should just be MVP every year, because I cannot for the life of me, while looking at this roster, figure out how the Mavericks are 9 games over 500.
Yes.
Once you get past Luka,
it's
not great.
Yeah. Goodness. Boban has nothing.
They don't play him.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't play.
But here's the thing: Spencer Dinwiddie is one of my like way under the radar favorite players. That
Why?
dude can, because he can hoop.
You know who can hoop? Jared Allen can hoop. Jared Allen can hoop, and Jared Allen's going to give you games. Spencer Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert can hoop. Can hoop. Back in we'll talk about that old Brooklyn team before KD got there and fucked it up. That team was decent, and Karis could score, Jared could score, and Spencer could score. But the difference between Spencer and those two dudes, Spencer gets hurt a lot. Unfortunately, he's not going to give you. He's not even going to give you 62 games. You know, he's going to give you maybe 30. You know what I mean? Maybe 50. So,
No, you're not wrong. But I like him. I like him as a guy to pass the ball to Luka a lot. But that team is really bad. Like I'm looking at their roster right now. This is
Dallas. Yeah, Cuba should be ashamed of himself. But
really shit.
that's a whole nother deal what they got going.
But hey, somehow they're only 12 games out of the number one seed.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was a fun trade. Arvydas Sabonis' kid.
Oh, I love him.
Sabonis. He got traded to the Kings. I thought this was a very interesting move. He went to the Kings along with who else did they send? Did they pick? Okay. Yeah, and then Indiana got Tyrese Halliburton, who I like, who's averaging 14 and 7 this year. Not bad.
That was a surprise. Him getting traded was a surprise. Like a lot of people didn't expect that.
He's a young, up-and-coming talent. Buddy Hield, just your classic three-point shooter.
He went to Indy, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
No,
I can't find that trade. I'm looking for it.
Wait, didn't Buddy Hield go to like LSU? No, that was Ben Simmons. No.
Yeah.
And then they, and then they got Tristan Thompson, who.
Buddy Hield went to Kansas, I think.
Oh wait, okay. Yeah. Sacramento got Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday.
Okay. Nobody cares about Tristan Thompson anymore. That dude.
Sabonis is dope.
Sabonis is really good. And Sabonis, he's going to the Kings, but he's going to a Kings team. Who else is on that Kings team now besides De'Aaron Fox and him? I don't think there's anyone else that really can contribute. They traded away Marvin Bagley, and he'd been wanting to leave from what I've heard.
I'm sure a lot of those dudes do.
And Marvin hasn't been given him much either anyway.
Harrison Barnes still.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's hurt all the time, but when he's in there, they got Rashawn Holmes. He's pretty good.
I sure wanted to play a game of who he play for with you. If you want to do that right now, let's play a game of who he play for. Because I'm down. I want to do that.
And maybe next time. I think that's something we got to put together a little less on the fly.
Let's see if we can do that shit right now.
Jeremy Lamb's a pretty solid bench player. I mean, yeah, it's a good one. I think the the Pacers. I don't know who I think won this trade. So I love the bonus.
I would go Indy. Who did Indy get? Indy got
Tyrese Halliburton,
yeah.
Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson.
And they got Sabonis and who else?
Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, and Justin Holiday.
Justin Holiday. I maybe might slightly go with Indy because I can see a Buddy Hield just so happy to be out of sack, and just go and clean the fuck off if Rick Carlisle let him. If Rick
Yeah.
if Rick lets him go and lets him do his thing and lets him run that offense, or him and Lance get clicking on some shit, because they still got Stevenson. They signed him to for the rest of the season, so that's huge. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that happening. And what is it? Big dude Tristan has kind of pissed his career away. So I don't know. Tristan, if he's motivated when he's out there, because I'm not gonna front. He was all right with us when he was with us a couple of years ago. But there's somebody else in that deal they got. They got somebody else good though. Well, they got the Halliburton. The Indy got Halliburton, or Halliburton go somewhere else?
No, Indy got help.
Oh shit, Indy. I think Indy won that. Indy easily won that. Not easily, but they won that. They won that.
Yeah, probably. All right. Let's bounce through just a couple real quick, some of these other trades, because we got to get to the big game coming up this weekend. A trade I think is really solid is the Hornets getting Montrezl Harrell from the Wizards for is that Ish Smith?
Yeah, that is big.
Ish Smith and Vernon Carey. Great deal.
So big Hornets get Montrez, but they need also a small forward to make up for the scoring of Gordon Hayward, because Gordon is not giving them nothing. I feel so bad for that dude, man. Like before he left Utah, he was on his way to a strong Hall of Fame career.
On top of the world, man.
Man, and fuck, he followed his college coach, and it made perfect sense, and and fan base that was gonna love the fuck out of him, and man.
It's definitely unfortunate.
Right.
Congratulations, Montrezl Harrell.
I love Gordon Hayward. I was so damn excited when he came to my team, man.
Yeah, I'm sure most people would.
I loved him when he was at Butler, man. Shit, he damn near won the damn championship.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trades I made there.
Oh yeah, we're going through them. We're gonna burn through the major ones. What else we got? Okay, now this one, I'm excited about this. What is it? I kind of don't. I'll be honest with you. Two of the players that we gave up in this, I don't like this. I don't like it. I really don't like it, because I think they have potential to be. One of them is a younger player. This is a Houston Siege trade with my squad. We get Daniel Theis back, which I'm super excited about. Daniel Theis was a worker. That dude could score. He could fucking get you boards, get you fucking assists, set screens like no other, fucking hustle, dove on the ground. Like, he is a Red Auerbach type Celtic player. Like, that dude is like, he's about it. So I'm glad we got him back. But I don't like that we gave up Dennis Schroeder and Bruno Fernando. They're gone, as well as Enos Freedom. I'm glad Cantor is gone by Deuce's Freedom. I'm so happy you gone. Woo! Because that dude don't want to play ball. He wants to be on Fox News. So bye. But to me, Bruno Fernando, I don't know if you've seen that dude play at all. He's big as shit. He's like a skinnier Giannis. You know what I'm saying? But not with the body type. You know what I'm saying? Really long, super athletic. He doesn't have the same skill set, of course, but he's good, and he'll get there with a team. And to me, Dennis Schroeder, Mr. NBA punchline in the offseason, because he didn't get to take the bag from the Fakers, but he's still has to prove himself. You know what I'm saying? And playing, what does he average? Double-digit points. You know what I'm saying? I think he had, 7 assists, 6 assists. So, I mean, it's not bad. So, I'm going to miss Schroeder, to be honest with you. Why you do that? You got an app that does that?
What are you talking about, man?
Okay, can you? Damn, man. Seriously? Can you not do that? You have to give yourself wrestler eyebrows or something?
Not sure.
Yeah, God. Come on, man. Damn. I thought that was decent. I thought that was pretty good basketball analysis. You know, I thought that was really good. You didn't give a shit about it?
No, it was great.
Okay, please don't do that. Can we not? Come on, man. Damn. What do you think about that? You don't give a shit about that deal, do you? Shrub.
Not really.
3 dudes? I don't get why are we giving up 3 dudes for fucking dice? Go ahead.
Dumping. Okay. Then we also
Salary thing.
had
Yeah, solid season. He's at 14 points,
the
3
Suns
boards,
got
4 assists.
Aaron Holiday. So that happened.
Who was it?
Aaron Holiday to the Suns. Traded Celtics trade Josh Richardson to San Antonio and a first-round pick to the Spurs for Derek White.
And Romeo Langford, which I don't like because Romeo Langford is good. To me, now that move to me, I guess Josh Richardson, to me, I looked up his numbers. His numbers were way lower than I thought they would be. He's only averaging like 9-something points a game. And I think maybe 2 assists. Like I thought his stats, maybe 4 assists. I thought his stats would be way better, but they're low as shit. So I mean, it makes it. And Derek White, he's averaging 14 and I think it was like 14 and 8 or 14 and 7 for assists. So I mean, that's a lot better. But Josh Richardson was a steady season shooter. Something that Celtics need. Somebody besides late in games. You can't just have JB and JT taking all the fucking shots and taking bad ones. And Marcus Smart throwing his bad ones in there too. You had someone else. You had to have someone else that was a proven scorer out there. And I thought Josh gave that to the Celtics with him being there. But they wanted White. I don't know.
I think Derek White's fine. It's not really a trade that does a lot. Like to make it, I don't think it made anybody super excited.
Yeah.
But once again, frees up a lot of money. I think, but mainly the Celtics. I think mainly the Celtics this year just kind of are in like, okay, we got a pretty solid team. I don't know if this is a championship team, but there's going to be some dudes available next year. Let's trade all these dudes, get someone back that'll be, because the team's playing pretty well right now. So get people that can contribute to the team, but get rid of a bunch of other dudes. And then next year, there's just going to be money all over the place.
Yeah, but I think they're also making, Brad is probably looking at this like we can make a serious deep run this year. I mean, what are you talking about? He's seen this team go to the Eastern Conference Finals, what, three years as he was coaching them? You know what I'm saying? And now the Eastern Conference is so effed up. He could look at his squad like they could go deep, if not get to the finals.
I mean, it's possible.
You're damn right it's possible.
But I don't think these are the guys you add and go, man, these guys seriously could get us to the Eastern Conference Final.
He didn't trade. The thing that was smart that Brad did, and you can tell that Brad was, I think, thinking like he's trying to still do something this season, is because he didn't trade a major piece or anybody close to a major piece.
Right.
He just traded ancillary parts and got back a better score. You know what I'm saying? So Brad is looking at it like we could go deep this year, which I believe we can. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Another good one. You said the Suns you talked about Wizards Holiday for cash.
Yeah.
Raptors. I like Bol, but I didn't know he was out for the season. I'll be honest with you, didn't even know my team had him. But we got rid of Bol, PJ Dozier, a future second round pick and cash considerations. And all my team got to Orlando, and all my team got was a future second round pick. Yeah, it must have been just to free up space.
Once again,
I think it lends to what you were just saying. Yeah,
and there's going to be buyouts. So take all these moves that didn't get made, or some that did get made, and also have the realization that, like, honestly, it kind of sounds like Celtics might just be clearing up some space to try to pick up some buyout dudes. Like, because people are going to hit the open market here. Pieces are going to move. I'm interested to see what happens here.
Right.
My Timberwolves didn't do anything. So we'll see what ends up happening to them. I like the way things are looking, though.
What do you think about that with your T-Wolves, like not making a move? Because, I mean, y'all have a decent team, but there's also there's definitely moves that can be made with y'all.
There are, but as opposed to what kind of things have looked like in years past, the young dudes are actually getting chances to play and show what they can do. And there's some real nice flashes coming out of there. I think the Timberwolves just thought, all right, look, we got a pretty good core of young dudes here. They're learning how to play with each other. They're having fun. Anthony Edwards has brought like this spark of electricity that just wasn't really coming from anybody else. And I think they're just trying to, like, really see what they can get. Like, if the Timberwolves make the playoffs this year, let's be honest, that's exceeding expectations.
Oh God, yeah.
So if you make the playoffs this year, and who knows, God willing, you figure out a way to win a series, you're going to draw people to the team next year. So I think they're just trying to hold their chips in place, see what they can do, see if they can really get these guys going, and then either know, okay, do we just need to make one or two little moves to add some guys to like really be deep here? Or can we trade some of these dudes for some serious guys and get them in this team? So I think it's just a wait and see mode thing with the Timberwolves right now, but I like what they're
Right.
doing.
Well, you're right. What do you think about D'Angelo Russell?
I think he brings a lot of energy to the team.
All right, this is something I thought.
Now he went off the other night though. Like he picks it up certain nights.
Do you think he shoots too much?
I think a lot of people shoot too much.
I'm just, when I ask it, I don't know who a lot of people are. I just asked, talking about D'Angelo Russell.
I think he shoots too many threes. He does a good job usually when he comes in and gets a little mid-range or a floater or cuts into the basket. But I think he shoots too many threes because he's a decent three-point shooter, but he also has nights where he misses 4 or 5.
I just looked at just looking at it too, and I oh damn. CP3 just crossed the hell out of Drew Holiday. He dropped his ass. Damn, that was sick. Ooh, that was pretty. What is it? Damn. I just looked it up. I didn't think it was his threes. I thought it was, it is his threes, but I thought it was just shots overall. He takes 8 a game and only makes 3. 3.5 per game. Like you take 8 and only make 3. So that's a horrible percentage. And then for field goals, he takes 16 and only makes 6. I was just like, he just shoots a lot of just bricks. And I really thought this before I looked it up. You know what I'm saying? Just watching y'all play. It's just so many empty possessions of y'all just coming down and him just jacking up a bad 3 or a bad shot, and Cat doing the same thing. Like it's just, oh God, like everybody's trying to play like Steph. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're working on it, and they the whole team shoots too many threes. But I do like what I'm seeing out of guys like Jared Vanderbilt is having a really good game, really good year. Naz Reid is a really solid backup big man. Even Patrick Beverly's having a decent year with us. He's out most of the time, but when he's in there, right? Laughlin's good. They got dudes on the team that nobody knows because they're in Minnesota, but like if you actually watch the games, they got some talent on the team. So,
Yeah,
I mean, nothing's gonna happen with them for years.
Unless Reed 8 points, 3 boards, almost 4. But all right.
He doesn't get a lot. He gets probably like 10 minutes.
Right.
All right.
No, I think it's much less than that. What is it? So I guess is that I feel like we're missing one other good story with deadline day. I heard that Maury was kind of forced to do it, but that's kind of a rumor right now. Yeah, that might be it. It's kind of funny to me though that the Fakers, the Dubs, and the Heat don't do anything, and especially Fakers. Like Fakers, you really need help. Like, hey, y'all don't do a damn thing. To me, it's just like the league is looking at them like we don't want any of their talent, or they couldn't find anything that improved them. I guess. Like, I don't know.
Anybody really besides LeBron, AD, or Russell Westbrook that's really worth trading for him.
Right. Yeah.
Who knows? One of these
I don't know.
Things will be all right in LA.
Yeah, I heard something about that Tucker dude was supposed to be coming to Boston for Josh Richardson. I didn't like that deal. Oh man, he's not somebody I would want. But all right, so this is a trade deadline day, but this week is a special week because we have a major sporting event going on in this country that we live in the United States. NFL holds their biggest spectacle. This probably might be the biggest spectacle of the sports year here in the U.S. It's the Super Bowl, and we have two teams in it. That one that hasn't been in it in about 31, 32 years, and another one that hasn't been in it since my old team, which I can't wait to go back to as soon as Belichick gets retires and gets the fuck out of there. I cannot wait to go back to New England because I miss home. I miss them. My old team when New England played the Lambs in the Super Bowl a few years ago, and people said it was one of the boringest Super Bowls or the boringest Super Bowl ever. It was great to me. We got the dub, so I don't give a shit. But so we're switching over to that right now. Before we talk about that, I gotta ask you, man, because it's on the forefront, and it's what's it's the most prevalent thing to me. Like it's to me, this is kind of taking a little bit of luster off the game to me. But what do you think about Mr. Flores's lawsuit against the NFL?
I mean,
hold on. You know what?
I think a lot is about to come out about the way things are done in the NFL. It just seems like there's a lot of black players in the NFL, and then none of them can get jobs as coaches when they're done. And you would assume a good handful of these dudes know what they're talking about. And Brian Flores getting fired this year after nearly getting that Dolphins team that was nowhere near the playoffs halfway through the season and almost getting them into the playoffs there at the end of the year makes almost no sense to me. And I don't know if just like there was just something that I don't know what it was that they saw that they thought that maybe they weren't going in the right direction with him. But I don't know. It seems like he's talked to enough people that were ready to talk and ready to bring up some things that people weren't aware of that were going on. And I'm very interested to see how this is playing out or how this plays out. And I just hope that, I don't know. I just hope if half the things that they're saying are being brought up in this lawsuit are true, then I just hope all these people are dealt with in, the proper way.
How do you think the NFL could well, but you said there's no black coaches. There's plenty of black coordinators. There's black coordinators.
I'm talking about
on every
Talk
team.
about coaches that are the representative of your team, that do the press conferences, that are in the papers, they're showing on TV. These are the guys that are leading your team. And like, I mean, there's been plenty of black head coaches that have done a good job with their team. They get stuck with horrible teams, and then the team doesn't go out and make the playoffs, and they get fired in a year or two.
Right.
But they're playing with very low talent rosters and expected to change it up, and then they bring in some other dude, and it just becomes this merry-go-round of people. Or a dude will get the team to like 6-10 the next year, and they go, oh man, let's give this dude a 5-year contract.
Right.
It's just like, it's very odd to me, and it seems like teams are kind of using black head coaches like a placeholder. They're going, okay, we know this team isn't very good, so let them go in there. If we suck the next 2 years, then we go, oh, we can fire you now. But hey, remember, we hired a black coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, very interested to see what actually fully comes out of this when more starts to come out. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are about to have to face serious consequences for ways they're handling things.
Do you think that that's maybe what happened with David Culley in Houston? He was just brought on. Excuse me. He was brought on to be a placeholder for a little bit for that team, and after a year, was let go and was going to be replaced. Excuse me, by Josh McCown. But then this lawsuit comes out. You know what I'm saying? What'd you think of that?
I thought it was interesting. They did seem very high on Josh McCown, and I believe what wound up happening was, like, I think it was the day after that, it really seemed like he was going to get that job, and then the Brian Flores stuff came out, and then like the next day, after they were talking about McCown, they went and signed Lovie Smith, and apparently they were like, oh, we think he has the potential to be a great coach in the league one day, but not right now with us, or like, we wish him the best, like whatever stuff they were talking about. I mean, who knows? It's going to be interesting to see how teams respond to all this stuff that's going on.
I think the Josh thing was complete bull crap. They knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted to hire him, but after Flores dropped that lawsuit, they were scared and they couldn't do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's basically what I was just saying. It seemed like they were very high on him. All of a sudden this comes out, and then they go, oh shoot, well, we do have this guy, and he used to be a head coach, so
right.
It makes it look like we just decided this was the best possible option. So yeah.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out good for them. Yeah. But this is something that you said twice that I don't get. What do you think is going to come out from this? Because from Collins' lawsuit, nothing came out publicly. From from that lawsuit that Gruden, he got fired for being a bigot with the Oakland Raiders. Vegas Raiders. That didn't come out. These women that keep suing Daniel Snyder in the Washington football team, that never came out. Just has a new woman accusing him of more sexual harassment this week. This stuff never comes out. What makes you think it's going to come out now?
Because if this goes to court, I mean, we're talking once it comes out in this trial, like, it's public record. Like, we can get a transcript of everything that's said during this. So if we're talking about situations going on with multiple owners and GMs in the NFL, this isn't, this guy did something, we fired him and he's gone. This guy did something, we can just like hope nobody really remembers this. What's going to happen? You're about to be potentially talking about owners of franchises. It's a lot harder to say you can't own this team anymore than it is to say you can't work here anymore. That's a complete huge transaction that has to happen. There's a lot of things that need to turn over. There's a lot of legal stuff that has to happen there because, you know, you got to go by whatever rules in the NFL about what these owners can and cannot think and say and do when they think, you know, it's not going to be public record. So that's what I'm thinking is, as opposed to being individual incidents that people are just going, oh, that was a horrible thing that person did. But like, whatever, could potentially blanket a good portion of the NFL.
Right.
And when you have if you have multiple owners that are out here saying stuff about they don't want to hire black coaches, well, then you have a huge issue because now you have multiple people that own franchises in your league. And it's public knowledge that they have no interest in hiring black coaches.
Yeah, but here you make a good point. But the thing that I know won't happen is that the NFL owners will break their neck and use every ounce of their legal ammunition to make sure that stuff, will not come out. You know what I'm saying? It will not be public record. So we won't see that. But, and also too, think about it. It's kind of hard to prove that such and such with the Giants, with the Mira family refused to hire a black coach. It's probably 100% true, but it's pretty hard to prove that. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that you can actually prove. I mean, what do you think about, Belichick, he obviously just got his Bryants confused. The man literally just got his Bryants confused. That's all it is. He's an old man. That's all it is. It doesn't, it kind of correlates with the fact that football has passed him by. But, he got his Bryants confused. Him sending those text messages to Mr. Flores, that let him know, oh, this interview is not going to matter. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a fake interview. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's like I said, man. These are the type of things I'm talking about coming out. I mean, this is the first one that seems to have, and you got a guy basically acknowledging the fact that this dude's about to have this interview, but they've already announced somebody else is getting the job. Basically, like they have these rules where you like have to interview so many black candidates. So teams just like, how many dudes do you think have been brought in for interviews and and what do you think those interviews were like? These dudes knew they weren't going to hire them. They were bringing them in. They probably didn't want to be there that long. So, how can you have all these front offices that have multiple people that are doing this on a regular basis and just be like, oh, well, you're fined so much money. I mean, like, where does it go? Where does it start? Where does it stop? Is it fines? Is it taking away draft picks? Is it making sure these guys are blacklisted from the NFL? And how high up does it go? And it could be, if the commissioner is involved,
I mean, the commissioner, they tell the commissioner what to do. He's not going to take draft picks from any owners, any teams, unless they say he can do that, and they're not going to go for that. It's it's not like the NBA where I think the commissioner kind of has a whole.
He can 100% take away draft.
He can't just take away your draft picks, Josh. Look, this is not the NBA. This is not the NFL. Is not the NBA where Daniel Stern ran that league the way it needed to be ran, and how Adam Silver is running that league the way it needs to be ran. This ain't that. The owners run that shit. They tell Goodell what to do, and he has to do it. I mean,
commissioner of the league.
Huh?
He's the commissioner of the league.
So he's a paid figurehead. It's not like he has any power. The power is with Jerry Jones and Kroenke's oh sorry ass and Daniel Snyder, who is a weird, evil, sexual deviant. If you read these lawsuits that he's got going, so it's just like, No, dude, what makes you think that him being the commissioner of the league, that when has he ever exacted any power on any type of owner?
I'm sure it's happened. I have figures of the guy. If something of this magnitude comes out, then absolutely he will have to do something, or people will just stop watching the NFL.
Man,
And they'll lose
please,
sponsors.
please. I pray that. I think you're right, but it has to be something huge. Like you right now,
A bunch of owners and GMs in your league are racist and refuse to hire black coaches. I think that's pretty big.
it is. But you right now, you have a league where they do what you just said. They have two black head coaches. One just got hired, and no black ownership. Only a few. You can count the GMs on one hand, and there's nothing he's done about it. And Jim Trotter at the Super Bowl press conference that they, the NFL press conference that they had, what was it yesterday? He had a really good question. It just asked him, how come there's no black people in any type of upper management positions in the NFL? In the NFL on any level, why aren't there any in the media department, in the NFL office? Like there aren't any. The only one I could think of is Troy Vincent. You know, what's that about?
I'm not involved in the hiring process. Yeah, I think we all kind of have an idea of what all these dudes that are running the NFL are, and it's not a good thing. I think there's not a lot of legitimately like good owners that really care about their team anymore. And I don't know. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more information coming out. I'm gonna wait till I get the full rundown, so I can make a full analysis on what I think is going to happen. But I think a lot of people are about to be exposed.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that exposed thing. Nuggets signed DeMarcus Cousins to a 10-day. Huh. I hate that DeMarcus. That's his career now. He has to sign 10 days for people to hope to stay on. It sucks. What is it? I don't know, man. I don't think anything's going to come out from it, but I pray some change comes from it, because it just doesn't make any sense, man. Like, I know it's not something that you think about, but if you played a sport where 70% of the people that played it were Jewish and or white, and in ownership there were no white people who owned anything or Jewish people that owned anything, it'd be a little weird, wouldn't it? Like, think about that. Wouldn't that be weird as shit?
I would think so.
Like that'd be a little off, wouldn't it? You see, no, like all I see is white people play this sport. They know this sport. They play it. They own it. They run it. But none of them own a team, or none of them are head coaches for this particular sport. That's strange.
It's interesting for sure, man. I mean, like I said, I don't really know enough about the complete inner workings of the offices of the NFL, but I mean, it's clearly an issue, and hopefully this will be the beginning of a major change in policy and the way people are considered for these jobs.
That's what you said. That's what you said. But what about, okay? Last thing before we jump into another part, before we jump into the Super Bowl, because again, I don't know. It just lacks a little bit of luster to me. What do you think about those about an owner of an NFL team asking his coach to lose games on purpose, and I'll pay you $100,000? What do you think about that?
If I'm on that team and the owner's still there, I'm asking to be immediately.
You're gonna say what?
If I'm a player on that team, that owner is still involved, I'm asking to be released immediately.
Oh,
I don't care what's going on. You were willing to let me go out there and break my head open every day to lose on purpose. No.
Wow.
I'm out.
I mean, I love I love your answer, and I love you saying that. I'm just saying it'd be a whole lot, those payments for that house and that car, they're pretty freaking high, and they're, kids' schools and stuff.
Yeah.
Woo. Man.
Then I'm sure I'll land on somebody else's team.
Yeah.
I'm sure people will understand my reasons.
So what do you do if you're a coach, though, in that situation?
I say, you gotta be out your fucking mind, dude. I mean, you gotta lose. The coaches get paid well these days. You gotta lose at least, 9 to 10 games, I'd say, for that to make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
So you just want to go out there and guarantee, what's the point of being a coach if you're just gonna go out there and you're gonna coach these dudes how to lose? Are you that? It's that much more important to you to get an extra $900,000 $1 million a year to make these dudes go out and waste an entire year of their careers?
Yeah.
I think you should be, yeah. If that's what was going on, you're not allowed to coach it.
I don't know, man. Wait. So you're saying if that's what's going on, you're not allowed to coach anymore?
Yeah.
But you're being told to do this by your boss.
So no.
You say no.
It's not working out. They're not losing. As shitty as I am as a coach, they continue to win.
Okay. But you're right. That's how I would do it. Okay, you kind of froze over here. You still with me?
I mean, you're frozen on this end. There you
go. Still frozen?
No, you're good.
All right,
good.
No. But what if the coach has to, and the coach doesn't? You think the coach should be in trouble for that?
Absolutely.
What about the owner? You're not saying anything about the owner, the person who's kicked off this bullshit in the first place.
I mean, yeah, of course they should be punished.
How so? You said the coach shouldn't coach no more. So what should happen with the owner?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's your team, unless, like I said, it's one of those things where unless there's a rule in the bylaws of the NFL guidelines that says owners are not allowed to request their team lose, you can't really do anything. You can maybe fine them, but you're fining a billionaire. What are you really going to do?
Yeah. I bet you there is a rule that says something like that. Like if you do,
you can't bet on your own team, but I mean, I feel like that's a similar situation. It's basically the coach just being like, okay, we're going to lose tonight. Cool. I know I'm going to make $100,000 off this.
Yep. And that's like the owner. That's like the owner betting on his team. He knows that his team is going to lose. He's prepared. He knows the outcome. It's basically that. I mean, that's just, dude. It's just a whole nother level. Like, in I think this stuff has gone on in different sports. Say what?
It's trash. You're a trash person if you do it.
You are, but you got to put the onus on the owner first, because that's the person who says it. That's the person who starts all that bullshit. The coach ain't going to him with it. You know?
I'm praying Stan Kroenke was wrapped up in all this.
Well, speaking of, since you gave me the alley-oop, I'll throw it down. What is your thoughts with? We have Mr. Stan Kroenke, someone who is, not too revered here in St. Louis. He is owner of LA Lambs, and they're in the Super Bowl this year. Unfortunately, should have been Tampa Bay, but it's a whole nother story. And what are your feelings about him? He is he's the owner of your
he's a horrible person. I hope.
Well, before we start, let me just give a little context. Josh was a diehard Rams fan when they were here. I think he's too young to know when they were in LA. So he was a diehard fan for them because that was his team. He's from St. Louis, so boom, born in Arizona, raised here. So this is the only team he knows. So
I wasn't born in Arizona.
Huh?
So I was born in Arizona.
I thought you were, or was it New Mexico?
I was born in St. Louis.
You were born in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I thought you were born in New Mexico and y'all moved here.
We moved there when I was like 5 for like 3 or 4 years.
New Mexico?
Or maybe it was when I was 6. I don't know.
Which one, Arizona or New Mexico?
New Mexico.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. When you were 5. All right. So you used to love that team. So when they left, your heart was ripped out. What do you think of Stan Kroenke, like that? The owner, the person.
He's a liar. He's a garbage human being. He sucks. He's got a trifling mustache, and I hate him every time I see him.
Why do you say that?
He sucks. He told St. Louis he had no plans to ever move the Rams. Meanwhile, for years he was plotting and scheming with his boys, and then just like that, they were gone. They were trying to paint St. Louis as not a good sports town. They don't care about the Rams. They only care about the Cardinals. Meanwhile, everybody sells out all the games. People are going crazy at the Rams games. People still went to the Rams games even though they were garbage. They purposely put a bad team on the field so that they could justify moving, and they were able to trick, I don't know, whoever wasn't already in on it. And we lost the Rams. And now they're playing in their second Super Bowl since leaving.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they have been in another one since leaving. Wow. This is their second one. That's crazy.
So I am all on
literally
Bengals bandwagon. I'm going to start a petition. I've been meaning to do it. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to try to post it tomorrow. Try to get some steam for the weekend. I want to start a petition where if the Rams lose this game this weekend, I want a Joey Burrow statue made and placed out in front of the Dome downtown where the Rams used to play. And fuck it, put a Brady one out there too, because he beat them. And just have them right next to each other, right out in front of them.
Well, goated young dude.
Be great.
Yeah, I get that. How did it feel like when you were? I used to ask you, man, like why. I remember at the time you give me your answer too, but I used to wonder why you still love that team as much as you did, even when you knew they were leaving, when you knew they were trying to leave, and they were putting garbage on the field to literally play out the role of the team, Cleveland Indians in Major League, the classic 80s sports baseball movie, where the owner is trying to tank so the team can be bad enough so she can sell it. And that is what your team did. How did you deal with that as a fan, and how did you still go to those games?
Because I was a fan of the St. Louis Rams. I was not a fan of Stan Kroenke. And Kroenke was nowhere on that field playing in any of those games. So as long as those dudes were in St. Louis, that was my squad. That was my team. And I knew they were going to be gone. I went to the last Rams home game. They played against Tampa Bay. Thursday
was Atlanta.
Football. I think it was Thursday night football.
It was Thursday. You sure it wasn't Atlanta?
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, and they whooped that ass.
I heard it was crazy, and I heard it was like a freaking party.
Oh, dude, I mean, like people were going nuts. I was just glad that I was able to be a part of it and get in there, because we're probably never going to have another NFL team.
Right.
I think the relationship between St. Louis and the NFL is not great. So probably here, December 17th, 2015, the Rams beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-23.
Nice. I went to the game the week before that. It was either the week before that or the 2 weeks before that when they played Lions downtown, and it was them versus the Lions, and they beat the Lions. I think. No. I'm sorry. Or did the Lions beat them? Who won that game? I think the Lions ended up winning that game.
Also, had to go to those games because we did get rookie year Todd Gurley in St. Louis.
Right. Still had Aaron Donald first.
That was very exciting.
Yeah. Aaron Donald was killing it in St. Louis. Okay, but here's my question to you then. That was your team, that was your squad. Why couldn't you just follow them to LA? Like, there's a bunch of St. Louis Lambs fans here to this day. I don't know how they do it. I really don't know how those people do it, but they do it. Why didn't you follow them there?
I just can't root for that team while that dude owns it.
Right.
And they're not in St. Louis. I don't wish harm on any of the players. I don't just sit there watching the games break his leg. But I don't want them to win because I want this to look like a massive failure by Kroenke.
Right.
However, here they are. They're in the Super Bowl for the second time in 5 years. So what do I know? But go Bengals. I actually, to lighten things up a bit, I found a fun little segment we could go over here.
Okay, before we go to that, I wanna stay a little bit in the misery, and I want to ask about what's the final number from what the lawsuit is that the city of St. Louis won over the NFL. Was it 700?
$790 million.
$790 million. Wow. Has any payments been made yet?
I'm not sure when that all starts going on.
Okay. And you haven't heard the city say anything about what they're going to do. Yeah, because I really want to know that. I want to know that. I want to know what they're going to do with the money.
Probably get the trolley back up. All right, let's have some fun here. And
we can't talk about. I want to talk about your distaste, how you sit with it, man.
Look, I hate the Rams. Okay, I hate Stan Kroenke. I hate the whole situation. Go Bengals. That's all I got to say. I hope the Rams never win another game. All right. On to the next segment.
I think the Bengals are going to win that too.
So, big thing that's going to be happening this weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend. A lot of bets being made. A lot of gambling going on. Gambling's at an all-time high. I'm going to give you a list of some of the fun prop bets that you can bet on for this year's Super Bowl.
Oh,
Number one.
Why are we doing this?
Number one, heads or tails to start the game. You might as well bet on this one because they both have the same odds. So you won't lose anything.
And such amount of the time, it's tails. It's like 70% of the time it's tails, right?
Yeah,
60%.
but it says the odds for each side of the coin flip are minus 105. So, I mean, you might as well just bet on whatever, I guess. It's interesting.
What does that mean? Say, what did you just say? What is that?
Both sides, it's going to be the odds on it are minus 105. So they both have the same odds. So just like there's no way to go to try to make like more. All right. Okay. Here's a fun bet that we always have. I guess Mickey Guyton is singing the national anthem. And there's a lot of bets included on this one. For instance, the over-under for how long the national anthem will be is currently at 1:38. So you bet whether you think it'll be longer or shorter than 1:38.
I bet over, but I don't give a shit. Give me a good prop bet, man. Come on, let's go.
Okay, how about this one? Whether or not she will show cleavage during her performance.
Who?
Yes, is the girl that's singing the national anthem, Mickey Guyton.
The woman? I don't know what type of entertainer she is. I got to know what type of entertainer she is first.
Bet on whether or not she will be showing cleavage.
Wow.
You can bet on whether or not she'll forget a word.
Wow.
You can bet on which quarterback will be shown first during the national anthem.
Where are you getting these bets? Are these from our friends at DraftKings or
from Deadspin.com? They went through the FanDuel bet stuff.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah. So that's those bets.
Yeah. If you're gonna, let's please go with some sports bets, because that's what a bunch of shows today did, is talking about prop bets. They've been doing that all week on sports radio shows. We don't need to do that as well. Let's talk about some. We're gonna talk about some bets. Talk about some bets that go with the game.
Okay. You can bet on what will the first play of the game be, a run or a pass.
Oh yeah, it's always one of those. Probably run.
Probably.
What's the odds on that? How much would I have to put on it to make some actual money?
2 to 3 odds for the first offensive play being a run, 6 to 5 for a pass.
Also better odds, like 2 to 3 or 6 to 5. So pretty much the same. Help me out with that. You're the experienced gambler. Help the listeners of High Off the Glass out. Is this going to be on your show as well? Late.
I'm having trouble reading all this.
You said what? You having trouble reading it? Yeah, it's like to figure out.
Yeah, I guess the pass one is better.
6 to 5 odds.
$6 for every 5 of them. You can bet on, will QuickBooks or Taco Bell's ad air first?
QuickBooks or Taco Bell?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Right, Taco Bell. Why those two? Out of all the brands, why those two?
That's just one that they're running. Oh, then there's, you can bet what word will be said first in a Mick Ultra commercial. Dude is at -200. Jesus is at +150.
Oh Lord.
I guess they must have like a Big Lebowski related one.
I guess.
All kinds of fun bets going on out here. Here, okay.
So,
okay. You can bet on what will Eminem wear on his head at halftime, at the halftime show.
Of course you can.
You can bet nothing at +150. You can bet hat for +200, hood for +250, or a do-rag or bandana at +275.
Josh. I don't, nobody wants to do that. Like, it's just,
I mean, what? Okay, how about here's one. You can pick what is going to be the color of Snoop Dogg's shoes. Blue is favored at 5-2, with odds running up to 16-1 for pink. Is gray silver a value choice at 6-1? Absolutely not.
Color of Snoop shoes, huh?
I thought Snoop Dogg like exclusively wore blue shoes.
I don't know why that would even have value.
I don't know, man. Yeah, pink shoes at 16-1. He might just wear pink shoes and bet $1 bajillion on himself.
What about Mary J? Is there any stupid bets like that for Mary J?
No, they're only telling me about oh wait, no, I'm sorry. You can there is another bet on whether or not Mary J. Blige will be showing cleavage.
I know that's right. Yeah. I bet. Ooh, that's a good question. Now that out of all the questions, now you finally got to a good one. Good job. Because I'm sure trying to figure that one out. Because you would think she would like show a little, but then praises for Terry Craig to the Suns for Jalen Smith and Egypt. Well, Terry Craig, he gets traded a lot. What is it? She may want to do that because I know she's done it at shows before, but probably don't want that Janet Jackson heat. Janet Jackson is one of the dopest R&B singers ever, and all these ladies that are out now from her, and they threw her through the ringer for that. Shit, and your boy Timberlake sat there and watched the shit. He didn't even help with his punk ass. I didn't understand that. And later talk about I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a good one. What other ones you got?
I don't know. That's a bunch.
I don't know. I expect with everything going on with the NFL, with your team being ripped away from you, with social unrest in and outside the NFL, with clear, blatant blackballing of Colin Kaepernick and of black head coaches in the NFL and black ownership. Does any of that take away any luster from the game for you?
I mean,
be honest.
I mean, to be honest, the Rams leaving took away a lot of the luster. I really only watch most of the football I watch for fantasy football purposes. I enjoy playing fantasy football with my friends, so I'll watch the games. But I'm always just trying to find a game where it's got somebody that's on my team. I don't really get invested in a lot of shit. I'll check it out when the playoffs are going down, but I won't like sit there and make a point to watch any particular game.
I get that. Doesn't that suck though? Like only watching football for fantasy?
No, because then I don't have to get super bummed when my team loses.
Yeah, I guess that's right. But who do you have? Do you have like a favorite player or a team that you like kind of like?
I was really into the Bengals earlier in the year because Jamar Chase is super dope and I love Joey Burrow. I did not think they were going to make it to the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, I was into them. I like the Titans. I love Derrick Henry. He's a beast. He's probably my favorite player to watch right now when he's healthy. I thought they're going to be much better than they were this year, but they were not.
Sure, right.
I guess they were the number one seed, but
yeah. How they I still don't understand how they finished with a better record than KC and Buffalo. That shit is crazy to me. Like, that makes no sense.
That happened.
Yeah.
Well, can't wait to see what happens on Sunday.
Okay, but what did you just say? You just said that wait, what did you just say?
I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday.
No, before that.
I don't know.
What did I just ask you? How did I forget that fast? Am I even smoking? What the fuck?
You asked me what players I liked. I told you what players I liked. And then...
Yeah. But okay, so you don't have you have a few guys you like. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. What do you mean you liked Cincinnati earlier in the season and then you stop? Why'd you stop?
No, I didn't stop. I just I liked them because they had Jamar Chase was doing really well. I didn't really, but I never said anything really.
Yeah.
So I don't want to come out now and be like, I'm just trying to I was into the Bengals earlier this year.
You were watching them at first and then you stopped watching them.
But I liked the Bengals earlier this year.
Right.
I didn't stop watching them. I just feel like since I didn't really shout out the Bengals as much as I could have earlier this year, I don't want people to think that I'm coming in right before the Super Bowl going, I knew these fucking Bengals were going to be dope all year.
Right.
I did like it. I enjoyed watching their games.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Did you have anybody from their team on your fantasy?
Yeah, I had Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah, I really hope. I hope they can win. I had Slick. He's a big time Lambs fan who lives in St. Louis, which I don't understand. Just had him on earlier this week. Talked to him and talked to Chris the Grower. They're big Cincy and Lambs fans. And for someone who's a Lambs fan, your team is favored by 4.5 points. And he's scared. He's worried about Cincy's secondary. He's worried about their defensive front. He's worried about he's worried about their wide receivers, their offense. He's worried about quite a few things. I'm putting money on Cincy. I was kind of thinking about doing it, but after I talked to him, as much as for a Lambs fan, as much as he was on freaking Cincy, I'm kind of gonna go with Cincy. I can see the Rams are a favorite and the Rams are a really good team, but Cincinnati is younger. They're good. They're not. They don't have household name dudes like LA has, because LA has damn near an all-star team, but they've got cats that can get out there. They can go out there and get it, and they're not in the Pro Bowl, but shit. Jamar Chase and what's his name? Higgins. What's Higgins' first name?
T. Higgins.
Man, that dude is the shit. Good. And what's that? What's the other wideout they have?
Tyler Boyd.
Oh my God! They've got for real weapons. And Cincy, what's up with their run game?
Joe Mixon.
Oh my God! Come on, man. You're not going to go wrong with him at all. He's been killing it. It's kind of he was killing it earlier in the season. It was they were taking turns. It was some games it was the running back was doing this thing, the run game was taking over, and then the wide receivers would go off later. They would just go back and forth. I really liked how they ran that. How Mixon would do his thing, and then how they would then shuffle it off to the wide receiver. So I really think, and granted my analysis of them, I'm like you, man. I wasn't. You may have watched more of them this season than I did. I did not watch that much Bengals. I may have watched 1 or 2 games of theirs. I knew they were good. I just didn't think they were this damn good. But since they're there, nobody's expecting it. You might as well. There's no pressure on them. All the pressure is on the Lambs. Everybody expects the Lambs to do what the GOAT in Tampa Bay was able to do last year. First team in decades having a home Super Bowl. They won it. So why the hell don't y'all? It's easy. It's already set up for y'all anyway. A bunch of people think that it's set up for the Lambs to win. So Cincy, this is all you, man. It's how I look at it.
Bengals, get them. Houday, whatever that is, the thing they say is, and let's have a good Super Bowl Sunday. Let's make some money off of cleavage.
What? Off of cleavage?
Yeah.
Let's make some money off them Cincy Bengals. Yo, I think we're gonna probably wrap this here on episode up.
I think it covers it all.
Burn on out. I don't have my music. Don't want to play. comes in way too hot. Josh, I want to say thank you to you, man, for coming out, coming through, talking to some NBA trade deadline with us, and it's been it's a lot of stuff going on in this NBA, man. I'm kind of happy that that the NFL is over, just so I can focus 100% on NBA now. I could just focus on NBA and college basketball. I don't have to be distracted by the NFL. NFL, get your shit together, because I don't want to not watch games again, because I feel like you're pissing on black men, but you know I will. You're not just gonna use us to run, jump, and catch, and we can within like league teams. You know that bullshit is over. But yo, this is Mr. I didn't really recognize it earlier, man. I gotta talk about this. We have to talk about. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. You heard that music, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. Before we get out of here, y'all, do some editing in this piece. This is Mr. Josh Boekesch. He is host of Late Show with Josh.
The Show at Night with Josh.
His name is so weird to me. The Show at Night with Josh. I'm telling you guys, this is a smash hit show. He does it with his co-host. Shout out the co-host real quick. Byron. That little dude is funny as fuck, and he's cool. Josh has been doing this show for how long? You been doing it now, Josh? Been like a year, 2 years?
It'll be a year next month.
A year next month.
Wait.
This is 2022.
Oh, 2 years.
Yeah.
Started in it started like a week or two after the big lockdown.
Oh, you started it right after quarantine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Everybody was stuck in the house, had to have something to do.
Yeah.
The Show at Night with Josh, you guys, is a great variety show that my man does. It comes on YouTube. How often do episodes come out?
Periodically. We're still working on getting a more refined schedule.
Okay, that's what's up. But tell the people, give the people your socials, and tell them where they can find your show.
Oh, you can hit me on the gram at Josh Take Picture, no S's. Josh Take Picture, one word. Show at Night, I believe, on Instagram. Josh Type Tweet on the Twitter birds, and just look up. All the links are in those bios. Go find them.
That's it. He's got it right there, so y'all can peep it out, man. Josh is a man. This dude knows he knows the sports, and he's a Lambs fan. So hopefully my boy Chris Grower and Josh and I will see the Lambs lose this weekend. And it's Chris Grower's birthday today. Gonna give him a little shout out. So he'll have a nice little birthday present this Sunday. And yeah, dude, it was good catching up with you, man.
Always, man. Always a pleasure to be on the show.
Right on. Thank you for coming out. Yo, hold on 1 second too there, Josh. And yo, for Josh Boekesch, for myself, Oda Great, thank you for keeping the show. Keep hooping, keep smoking. We out. Peace.
This is supposed to be the Bengals theme song. I didn't realize that's a big